This is going to be one of the hardest videos I've ever had to make. And out of respect for what happened, I will not be wearing any Miami Dolphins gear today. I've been watching football for a very long time. Over 20 years. And I've seen it all. NFL, college, high school, Pop Warner. I've seen everything that could possibly be. And last night was probably the worst game I've ever watched. And it wasn't even for what happened on the field. What happened last night? Who won? Who lost? I could give a shit. That was not it. What happened during that game was the most sickening, disgusting, worst thing I've ever seen in my over 20 plus years watching football. I can't. I gave up at that point. I tried to watch. I couldn't. It was just on in the background at that point because I was on my phone. Man. And look, I'm no doctor. I'm no medical person. I have no medical knowledge whatsoever. I'm just a guy from New Jersey who roots for a team in Florida, which is kind of sus in the first place for some people, and I can admit that, sure, fine, but I just so I'm gonna try and give my opinion, because I can in this world. You're allowed to give opinions on things. And I'm not even going to talk about the game at all. The game is just an afterthought. The Bengals won, whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I don't care who did what, nothing. And then I'm going to get into what will the future hold. So, Tua Tagovailoa took a bad hit. It was bad. No penalty was called on it. What are you going to do? So, look, I'm not going to be a homer. It's like, okay, because I'm doing this off the cuff, so bear with me. Look, I'll admit, I don't think Tua should have come back in last Sunday. They should have kept him out for precautionary reasons. And play him tonight? Maybe not, because it's week 4 against the Bengals. This is the problem with all of this here. If this was week 17 in December, and your playoffs are on the line, your hands might be dealt. You might have to play them. But this is week 4 against the Bengals. And no offense to the Bengals, who represented the AFC in the Super Bowl last year. You could spare a game or two early in the season. Christ, you're 3-0 for crying out loud, in which you don't deserve to be 3-0. Let's be fucking honest here. We were lucky to be 3-0. So, to a place, and then the hit happens, and oh boy, that was bad. That was really, really bad. Just seeing them in the I think it's called the fencing position, where you're just like this. Like, that is not good. He was stretchered off, taken to a local medical facility, and was discharged before the night was over, and flew with the team back home, and now he is back at his South Florida home with his family, and they're going to take it from there. Going to get a second opinion. And see, this is the problem when these things happen, is that people go online and they think they know everything. Here's my problem with the whole thing. I get people are mad at the Miami Dolphins for what happened. I 1000% get that, and I'm going to take my glasses off. But the focus should be more towards how the NFL handles these types of things. Look, I get it. The Dolphins allowed him to play tonight. But because he was cleared to do so. That's the thing. He was cleared to do so by the independent neurologist and the independent doctor that gave him the concussion protocol test last Sunday. It wasn't the Dolphins medical staff. Let's get that one thing cleared. The way the concussion protocol works is that there's an independent doctor and an independent neurologist that makes the final decision, not the team. So let's get that out of the way, because I've seen a lot of hate towards it go to the Dolphins medical staff who are just doing their jobs and what the procedure is. Now, how the procedure works is the question. What is actually being done in the procedure that tells the independent doctor and the independent neurologist to clear the player? That's where the problem is. And I'm going to bring up another team here. Granted, different situation, but the Chargers and Justin Herbert. How he took a bad hit in the Chiefs game 2 weeks ago, stayed out for one play, and then came back in. And honestly, he should have sat last week against the Jaguars. It's the Jaguars. Granted, most of the Chargers were banged up. They had a bad injury report going into that game and during that game. But you don't need to play him week 3. It's week 3 and week 4 of the season. What do you got to lose? Again, if this was week 17, 18 in December fighting for a playoff spot, sure, if your season's on the line. But week 4, week 3, nah. You don't need to risk it. You do not need to risk it. So, that's where most of my thoughts are. I think there should be a full investigation into how the NFL handles their concussion protocols. And all the people saying how was Tua allowed to fly back home with the team. He was sent to a local hospital and given the discharge by a doctor's there. So now we're going to blame the hospital now? An independent hospital who's not even associated with the NFL. But again, people love to talk on the internet, thinking they know everything. I don't know. He was sent to a hospital for crying out loud. And was given the all clear. I don't know. I don't know. And the way the NFL just handled the situation on the broadcast was just god-awful, man. Really. God-awful. But that's what the NFL does. They clammed up. They said, nope. Play on, boys. Play on. Oh, we can't show that. No. It disgusts me. Makes me sick to my stomach. So, that's last night. Again, I just want the best for Tua. And for the Tua haters out there, I don't want to hear a fucking word. Because we almost lost a human last night. A human's life was almost completely taken away from him. He could have been paralyzed. But, you know, it's funny. Joe Burrow was on the post-game show or whatever, and he said it's a dangerous sport. And he's right. There's a lot of truths that people don't know how really deep and dark the NFL can get. Just look at all the retired players over the years who dealt with CT and everything. And the NFL didn't give them shit. They gave them nothing. Granted, we've come a long way since then in technology-wise and how to avoid those things. But, man, even like last night and Sunday, man, it's still a real threat. It is still a real threat. Now, Tua is at home now. He's with his family. Haven't heard anything since Mike McDaniel did his press conference last night. Well, he's getting a lot of flack from that too, but what else do you want him to say? They told him to say that. No, he didn't. So, I don't know. I just don't know. So where does the Dolphins go from here? Well, obviously now 3-1. They play the Jets next Sunday. And I think Tua will probably sit for a week or two. And I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, he's definitely not going to play next Sunday. No way. You could not put him out there next Sunday. No way in hell. I don't think he should either. But there's a lot of questions. One, will Tua ever play football again is one. Will he retire? Go to another team? Like, there are so many questions that we just don't have the answers to at this time. So, for the rest of the season, I honestly can't say. Will the team bond around this? I don't know. I really don't know. We're going into a stretch now where it gets a little easy on the schedule, but man, I don't know. After last night, it just left a really, really bad taste in my stomach. So, and that is why I am going to take a 1-week break from covering the Dolphins on this channel. I just can't muster up doing a review against the Jets game. I can't. I need a break. And it actually fits well in the timeline because Penn State is also on their bye week next week, so it'll be a complete bye week, and I got other videos I have to start writing scripts for and making. If you know, you know. So, I'm going to take a break from covering the Dolphins for a week, and we're going to come back week 6, and we'll see where we are then. So, that's going to do it. Just wanted to come on here, give my quick thoughts about what happened last night and what could potentially be the future, but I don't know. I have no idea what happens from here. Really. Dolphins could lose every single game the rest of the way of the season. Who the hell knows? But we'll see. We will see. So, I just want to end with this. Tua, I'm a believer in you, man. I am. I just want the best for you now at this point. Whatever you feel best. I raise a cup to you. Get healthy. Prayers up. Thinking of you, man. And I would love to see you play football again, even if it's not for Miami. But we'll just have to wait and see. So, thank you all for watching, of course. And I'll see you for the next one.